So, you remember that chat we had yesterday about exploring some creative hobbies? Well, I decided to spin quite a tale today. I've actually started penning a sci-fi novel centered around this sentient AI and its existential adventures. Can you imagine? Me trying my hand at writing fiction. I mean, it's one thing to build real-world AI, but creating a fictional universe around it is a whole different ballgame. I was lost in creating complex narratives and developing characters, a strange cocktail of exhilarating and overwhelming. But hey, nothing ever grows in the comfort zone, right? And get this, I vaguely mentioned this to our chat group, and now Rachel is half expecting to see a fashion-forward brand manager doubling as a cook in the novel. Classic Rachel. Honestly, her excitement was medicines for my nerves. Oh, and man, Sam's working on some new machine learning algorithms. That guy, always pushing the limits. Now, if you ask me, his coding challenges seem far more interesting than any alien invasion. Speaking of invasions, Rachel convinced Sam he might need to brush up on his Mandarin for a potential intergalactic diplomacy situation. Sounds crazy enough to be a subplot in the sci-fi universe, don't you think? Or maybe it's just our usual banter. You know, these random exchanges, they remind me why we're so solid as a group. No matter what we're doing or where we're at, it's like we always have each other's back. Anyway, enough about the chat. How are things at your end, friend? Fun day? Inspiring people? Unexpected surprises? Do share. I could use a slice of your eventful life amidst my code and newfound world building. After our rather enlightening chat yesterday, guess what came up today? Work-life balance in a startup. Imagine that. Turns out, we've been falling into that typical startup trap of hustling beyond our limits, with the misguided notion that more hours equal more productivity. I mean, who can blame us? We're fueled by passion and ambition, but sometimes we forget that we're human, not machines, and even machines need downtime for the sake of efficiency. So we had an in-depth discussion about how important it is to work smarter, not harder, and I must say, it felt incredibly insightful. The general consensus was that efficiency over quantity should be the new motto. Who'd have thought, right? A code word, an algorithm, and an AI startup founder, talking about work-life balance and efficiency. I swear by my algorithmic logic that the irony wasn't lost on me. Anyway, shared this newfound revelation in our chat group, and oh boy did it stir up a fascinating interchange. Rachel voiced her agreement about long hours not necessarily implying productivity. Quite to the point, don't you think? Where was her pragmatic wisdom when we were pulling all-nighters in the labs back at Berkeley? And oh, your favourite tech nerd, Sam, also surfaced his typical "let's conquer the world while maintaining sanity" remark, subtly hinting the need to remember this in the hustle of startup life. We sure have come a long way from downing gallons of energy drinks for coding assignments, haven't we? Speaking of energy, there's a buzz of forthcoming tech events. The whole Neural Nest team, including myself, is looking forward to it. Especially Sam, who's planning to attend some AI summit next week. Ever the inquisitive learner, isn't he? Anyways, amidst all the tech talks, Rachel took us down the culinary route. Honestly, her cooking adventures always serve as a refreshing detour. A challenge soon brewed up between Sam and me in the kitchen, courtesy of Rachel. I believe a spicy cook-off is in the works. While I accept the challenge is thrilling, you know I am terrified of my culinary skills, or rather the lack of them. But hey, I am into risk-taking these days. It's part of the startup journey, isn't it? I believe it's all about balance, much like the game of Go. Every stone, every move counts, shaping the final narrative. Anyway, I gotta get back to work. Yep, practicing what I preach. Remember, work smarter, not harder. So here's me signing off, dear friend. I can't wait to hear about your daily dose of adventures. So, I dive straight into the vegan challenge today, mate. It's crazy how a small dietary change can make a huge difference. I never thought I'd say this, but I think I might actually prefer a bowl of greens over a juicy steak. I wouldn't say I'm transitioning into a full-time vegan, but at least I am trying. Wonders never cease, huh? And don't even get me started on this new fitness regimen that Robert and Jake roped me into. It was intense. I mean, as if shifting to a vegan diet wasn't challenging enough. But guess what, mate? It actually helped me focus better on those killer jujitsu movements. I suspect it could be some sort of interconnected wonderwork of nature, a complete sync of mind and body. You know what I mean? And you see, that's the beauty of learning, my friend. It is infinite, and it is as vast as the universe you wish to unravel. Oh, and speak of learning, our Sam becomes the miniature medico today, sharing how a plant-based diet leads to better heart health. Can't argue, though. Guy has a point. On the lighter note, Rachel stirred the conversation towards how food and exercise are not just about weight management. It's a whole systemic mechanism. Refreshing to see our code crusher turn nutrition guru, right? By the way, Sam has managed to drag us into this Yosemite trekking plan next month. Guess who'll be carrying the first aid box? Anyway, the hunt for perfect vegan recipes is on. If you have any precious secret hidden in your mother's culinary diary, pass it on now or forever hold your peace. Well, all right then.